Hi, very good afternoon to everybody. We welcome you all to today's webinar being organized by GemAtlas and conducted by Ms. Kshama Dalalkumar on visual merchandising and booth designing. We thank you all for being present today for this webinar. Now I hand over the presentation to Ms. Kshama to take it forward from here. Thank you all.
Hello, everybody. Uh, I'll be starting with my presentation. It's for visual merchandising and booth designing. Okay, now what is visual merchandising? That is multi-sensory method which initially attracts the customer, communicates the brand image, goods to the customer, motivating him towards making a purchase. It is a tool that differentiates the brand in the market. I have few photographs and the work which I have done. I will explain you with the pictures so that it will help everyone to understand visually. Aspects of visual merchandising at store or exhibition. What I feel, a color is a very powerful tool to grab attention of bypassers. Now here the booth which I have done, you can see the type of color combination which I have used. Like I have taken a contrast colors, red, green, and it attracts everyone from the distance. I have used the slide which I'm showing you, that is my own booth in IIGS, as I wanted to show my work, and I have kept the stall very simple, and I just did the color, the background in red, thinking that like when people will pass, they will get attracted to the color. And that's what happened. Everyone got attracted by the color and they came to my booth to see the work. There is one more idea, like we should create a hotspot, something interesting, something by which people get attracted to, or some curiosity, interesting things. Here, Shrenuj had completed 100 years when they came to me and they told me they want to create a booth, but they wanted that 100 years kind of a look or some technology or something by which one can understand that yes, it's a 100-year company. When I was designing, I just felt something I should use here by which it creates an interest and can last longer to the customers, that what they've seen and how it was. That time I had gone abroad. This idea which I have used over here, I've seen in that exhibition, but I never knew the technology. Luckily, when I came here and when they came to me, that in that period I got introduced to one person who had brought this technology to India, and I got what I wanted. So when I designed the booth, I designed very spacious look, and I gave very little space to the windows, because when you are so much experienced and you are 100-year-old company, you don't need to show more products, or you don't need a bigger windows. What happened at that time, here the idea is, when you come near the window, you have to insert a card and then the window opens. Till that time the window is going to be closed. So when you move around the booth, you will not see any products. So people used to get very curious. There's no display of any products, and they used to come and ask to the receptionist over there. Then that girl used to give a card and tell them that you go and insert a card, you will see the product. So that made people attracted towards the booth, and everyone went and told each other, jao jao udhar jaake dekh ke aao, dekho kuch naya hai. And that is what by which you get the mileage and people really remembers your booth. Here also I have played with something like that. The client wanted some not the normal kind of a display, something which unconventional, you can say. And when I did this, the units which you are seeing, it's like a cone, the ice cream cones. When I was doing that, I just felt, why can't I develop something by, which this cone shape. And when I was doing that, I had one wall on the back where the client is standing. That is where first it never clicked to me. But one day, as we all go to Jew, and we see there like a mela kind of a thing, where what we can say, that chakri we call. And that is what I felt, that why can't I keep the products and something moving, and half you can close and half is open. So you can see behind where he's standing, behind that there is a window, and that chakra is moving very slow. Like if you want to see product, you have to wait. You can see three products, and the three is hiding. So you'll wait till those three comes down. It means he's giving more time towards your booth. The client is getting time to come and interact with you, and you will not forget the kind of a display what you have done. You'll always remember that stall, and that's the way the client will get the mileage. Here also I tried a different way of display. At the entrance, I just made a hanging display, and the stall was very, very empty. There was just nothing, and only concentration is on the products and a different kind of a display. Um, I think it's coming back. Yeah, sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, same thing over here. Even here in this booth, we went with the concept of go green, and we actually kept real plants over here, and the booth was looking very lively and beautiful. Now, like there are many customers, they want maximum amount of merchandise. Like we all know Emerald. Now they have thousands of products, and when they explained me, they said that they don't want to waste even a single inch of area, and they want to have maximum display. So when I designed a booth for them, and they want more of a branding, so I gave importance. I did the backlit on the top, and the eye level, little eye level below also, I took the products where you can see the products easily, and it worked very well for them. Like the clients, there are clients who are retailers, and they also require more display and simple booth where they can coordinate with the customer directly. Okay, here the window, I took a very big window for jewelry. Generally, for jewelry, we always make a small window because the product is small. But I wanted to play differently here, so I just took a very big size of the window. And at the eye level, I gave one shelf and displayed the jewelry. But when the space, you have a space, but I want to play it like it doesn't disturb, but it fills up the space and looks interesting. And that's what I tried over here. So that is very important, to use big empty space. Same way we can do it in the stalls also. Here the stall is very empty, very simple, open, and only the concentration, you can see the units which are like people come inside, have a look at the products, and then they go out. But it's not closed, it's open. So even this type of booth looks very beautiful. Here also I have given more space. Like you can see, I have played differently, and you feel that I have not used the space over here, outside as well as inside. But I have not done any cut down on the display. Even for the people, everywhere the space is there. But I tried to play with the space interestingly. And here I have lifted the booth and given lighting below, by which it gives a very different look and a different design. Okay, here one client, he gave me the words like futuristic, high tech, and professional. Like symbolically, you have to bring the words what he has said, and I tried those words over here. When you look at the the units, the display units, you can see the futuristic, you can see the high tech, and a professionalism. So everything came, but symbolically I showed over here. Sometimes you have to think out of box, and for that you have to, when you do something like that, it really works. Like one client for whom I had done booth, and I went to him to take the brief, and he told me only two things. He said, either you make my stall best or you make my stall the worst. Now, these are the only on those two words I had to create a booth for him. I designed a booth then with all the rough materials like, jute, like what you can say, this brick, fire bricks, raw wood. Everything was like, the earthen pots, all those things I collected and I created a booth for him. When I created a booth, the booth was ready, but now the display part was like I have to design a display. Now for that I wanted something which by which he should be famous, like everyone should come and talk about that booth. One day I was just thinking, few days ahead of the exhibition, I just thought of, I had gone to a shop and I thought of taking a red chilies. I found them very interesting because those days I'd gone to Bhutan, and when I had gone to Bhutan, I had seen people, drying the red chilies on their, uh, what you can say, rooftop. That was a very interesting. It was very interesting, and it registered in my mind so much, that color and the chilies, that that time it came in my mind that why can't I use something like this, and why can't I use onions and lasoon, in display. That was a very wild thought of mine. I never knew whether it will work or not. So what I did, I made some bouquet and everything out of that, kept it in my own house for a few days just to see the reaction of the people who come to my house. I found everyone's reaction very like it attracted them and excited them a lot. And I said, yeah, this will work. And then I very like I took all these things to the venue. Did while even when I was doing that, there were people who were talking about it, and before I can make the booth, everyone came to know that the one stall, that lady, she has bought all the mirchis and onions and all those things over there. So they never knew what I'm going to do. So, but when I created the booth and when I finished my work, everyone liked it so much. This, you can't imagine jewelry with something like this, you'll display. But by this, he got the mileage what he wanted, and it clicked so much that I mean, even I couldn't believe that yes, it was a hit. The stall picture I don't have because I have only the window picture. I hope you all can visualize it. And the same way, the earlier picture, the earlier slide, this one, the next year I played with this same thing. So what I did here, I made my this pots, 8 feet pot in clay. I got it made, and I you can see the window which I have cutted over here. In that, I have kept jewelry below, and on the back, I have played with the small pots mural. And the outside pot picture, even this I don't have. This is a very old work of mine, starting of my years. And this also was liked by everybody, a very different way of, very different display units, you can say. Now, why it's important to get all the aspects right, I'll just read out to you. It contributes in building and enhancing brand's personality and characteristics associated with the brand. Effectively communicate the motive, concept of the brand and to the customer. Leave a mark on customer's mind in such a way that he remembers the brand for a longer period, as I explained you in my previous slides. Convince the customer to buy the product even at a higher price. engage, inspire customers, encourage them to buy more products of your brand, which in turn increases your sales margin. Customers have only few seconds to view and be attracted by the displays, so it needs to be simple, bold, and uncongested. Wherever eyes go, feet will follow. These are the important things which I felt I should tell you all. Then do and don'ts. Like your main window needs to attract bypassers or they will just pass by. Now here this stall, what I did, it's a very small booth. I wanted people to get attracted to even this small booth. So what I did, I made my window big and I played with the orange color inside. Nobody was, whoever was passing through that booth, he used to stop there just because of the color and the way we have presented. Here also, if the windows are very important. When you make a booth, if you design even your windows, then it's an additional plus. Here here also we have played with with all natural things. One more point which I feel is play with different materials creatively. Now, so many materials we get in the market. If we try and create something with the different materials, we can, really bring a very good different look. Even here, I have used one different material. Decor should go with the brand image and identity. Like this client, he's in gold. So I wanted to show the gold. I wanted to bring out that gold thing, and that is the reason I made his booth with total gold color. One more, I feel that if we can study a client's logo, or a brand colors, and then if we play with that, then that also is one way of showing your own personality or look. So here you can see this client, he has as a logo, he's got a peacock. And because the peacock, I have always, whenever I've designed his booth, I have played with, the peacock uh, leaf or peacock combination. You can see here, he's also a gold client. And with that, I've played with the colors. Now, this is the second booth which I designed for him. Here also I tried and played with the same color combination, the same client but with different look. Only concept is same. Um, we can use even our advertising like branding, by which we can show like it depends the clients who has a brand like Asmi, Damas, this type of brands, they need more of a branding than the products. So I used to play more with the bigger posters for them, like this for Damas. Now I have played with two, three colors combination at a time, and I've found it that gives a very beautiful look. Also here I have used unconventional way of displaying the jewelry. As you are seeing here that I have not used the normal props for display. Even the color of the booth and my display, both are, I have used same. The display window which we design, what I feel we should design it, it should be very simple and bold. This one is also quite simple. This is made totally in paper. Even the base we have made out of paper on which the jewelry is kept. The very important thing is lighting and color of light plays an important role. That's a very, very important aspect as far as the stalls are concerned, even the windows are concerned. Here, if this what I've used the lighting on the sides, if I won't use that, then there's nothing in the booth. So something you should create. You can play. Even here, you can see how we have played with the lights. Always we should keep the area, the entrance, I mean, see to it that sitting area should be inviting and create a feeling of warmth and comfort. Then only the customer automatically he'll come in. You can see this stall also a very neatly placed everything, and it gives a very nice, and the kind of a look it gives, it's very systematic. Here, the atmosphere, like as I said, should be pleasant. This gives a very pleasant look. You love to go to this booth. This one is also done with glass and was looking very rich. Now, what you all should not do, I feel, that is avoid overshadowing the product with too much of decoration or maybe even the booth. With too many mirrors all over, the display loses its charm because it disturbs. Bad display props, like they are not finished or they are old, I think we should not use them. Terrible photography of products, like when we show the photography, the photograph, maybe when you have done the shoot it's small, and when you enlarge it it's blur, or maybe the type of photography is not done properly. And not to use flashy colors, too many colors, and no loud music should be there in the booth. I can show you some of our booths. Like this booth is for Kantilal Chotalal. They are into and they have a very small and very few products. So I had designed it like very simple way and kept the windows small. Because of the solitaire, because of a small product, we have used black color with uh, what you can say, a frosted acrylic. Here it's Shrishti. Um, they had come out with a few modern kind of a jewelry at that time, and the kind of a look, like it's a contemporary look which I had given them. Here I played with the windows. As I told you, the color plays a very important role, and you can see the windows are coming out. So you are automatically getting attracted towards the window, and you'll go and see that windows. Otherwise, the booth is very simple. Even here, I tried and played with this color. When I made an entrance very attractive, and I used gold on the sides, the dull gold with brown. Here I played with something, some kind of a gimmick at the entrance, and with the green go kind of a concept here. Same way I played, like here also I played, because it's a house color of royal chains. The color is red. So most of the time I have kept that red uh, for him. This is another client. He has always, like, half booth he wanted a cabin and half we have used for the display. Here to give, as I told you, the entrance should look very nice, spacious. So I have given a height to this entrance, and it was looking very beautiful. This has a concept of castle. Now, when you design, you have to have some concept, and then if you design it, then you can do it, nicely. Even the windows, what we have done. Actually, I have forgotten to put that window picture for you all, because I had even the props I had made of castles. Yeah, okay. Now, there are a few things which I have written over here. I'll just read out to you. Realize the importance of stall decor. Get the right professionals and budget enough. The stand apart from the rest. To stand apart from the rest, let your VM professionals explore out of box creativity. Insist on the correct lighting for your products from the organizers beforehand, or the people whom you are giving the booth. So you have to talk to them and show them the product, and then because the lighting is very important for your window. Make the best of your stalls. Don't be too hassled with stall placements, because everyone cannot get the best. Be personally involved with VM decisions. Usually you get only a few days to put things in place, so you must plan every last detail in advance. Should be one step ahead of trends and predict future fashion movements. Now I'll explain you. When I say get the right professionals and budget enough, what I've seen with the clients, that when they have to select a professional for their booth, they are going with the 3D which a person has done. But when you seeing a 3D presentation and the actual delivery, there's a lot of difference. So you have to see that the professional whom you are giving the work, he has enough of experience, and he understands what he's showing, and how he has to bring when he does the construction. So that's very important point to select a professional. Then comes the second part, as I have said, the visual merchandising and out of the box creativity. As I've showed you a few slides out of the box, how we have thought about it, like for your booth. And visual merchandising, if you do it with that, either with the same concept, or you can think of something else. But here also, I think you need to give this thing to a professional. The For the lights, what I felt, I have experienced always, the client feels when you throw more light on the product, that is always, better. Like someone has put more lights, I also want more lights. That's not the way it is. You need correct lighting. So when you or you can have a trial before you select lights. You can try with your own products, and then you select the lights for your booth. Like here I said, the one more point which I have felt is, when you all go for the booking on the floor plan for your booth, everyone is not going to get the best place. We all know that. So not to worry about it, even if you are in the corner. But if you make your booth, as I have shown you, sir, my work, if you make booth like this, even if it's in the corner, the client won't miss. Whoever will come, they'll come to your booth. And when you do the visual merchandising and all that, it's always better if you when the visual merchandiser, whoever is working on it, if you are going to be with that person, then he'll be able to give you the result what you want. One more thing I have experienced, that in India we always think at last moment. So when we erect a booth, or we are at the venue, and that time certain details our client gives us, which is very difficult at that time to add to those detailing. That is why I always tell my clients that please be think about it and give us much in advance so that we can give you what you want, but not at the venue when we are constructing a booth, and that time you come and tell us to change. That is not possible because we get uh, very little time, and in that time everything is planned. So if something I have to do, if you come and tell us that you do right now, then everything is going to get haywire, and we will not be able to give you on time. So it's always better that if you all can plan in advance, that is always good for you and for the person who's doing work for you. Second thing, I feel that if we think about it next year, what we want from now only, as people think about their trends or the kind of a jewelry, whatever it is, if you think much in advance, it always helps all of us. So these are the points which I felt, which I think I should tell you.
Some questions. Oh, you can read the questions.
Okay, how do I get this innovative ideas for designing booths? As I told you that I never think about it, but it's an inspiration. It comes out when you, like, as I told you, I went to Bhutan. I was so much attracted by those chilies, and I got that idea. Same way, the I from childhood I always had a love for our earthen pots and all those things. So I have always tried and played with such things. And everyday life, we see so many things from that. When you think, your mind will work. I think even you can do it. Yes, we have done. We have done in Dubai. We do designing over here, and when we go, we give it to the local person there, and we come and do the supervision with them.
Sorry for the benefit of all. I'm just reading out the question
Yes.
so that people know the responses for
Oh,
which
I'm
question.
sorry.
No
Yeah.
worries, no worries. The question was basically, do you also do design booths in international shows? And this was the reply to that. Okay. Moving on to the next question. We are suppliers of packaging and display material. Would you suggest any idea on how our booth should be? Basically, they're into packaging and supplies.
Okay. You have to show maximum of your products, display products. And when you are showing those display products, you also show one or two windows how they should keep the display props. They'll understand, and you'll also give some upliftment to your own products. That's what I suggest.
Okay, the next question is, I deal in solely diamonds. How would you suggest I design my future booth to show various types of diamonds to people?
How would you? What? I'm sorry, I'll read that question
Yeah.
again.
I deal in
didn't.
only diamonds.
Yeah, how would you suggest a design which to show the various types of diamonds to people? Okay, now this answer, like when someone start designing, only that time I think I can tell you, because here to tell you how to design a booth right now, because there are certain other details I would like to have with by which I can explain you maybe. But with this line, I don't know. The only thing I can suggest you that your booth should have not very big windows, but it should have small windows and with a darker background, since it's a solitaire. That's what I can suggest you right now. Maybe we can go for next.
Yeah. How do I display color stone jewelry to people without making it too much for the eyes?
For color stones, I'd suggest that your booth should have no bright colors or anything, but it should have white or egg white color. And I think then the stone jewelry, you can show your stone jewelry better in that.
Do flowers and plants help to display
Yes,
color stone jewelry?
yes, or not colored stone jewelry, not inside the window, but yes, you can show it outside. Inside the window, let the jewelry come out.
Okay. Is it time consuming to make castle or other stair-led booths?
No, not at all. No.
What, according to you, is the difference between a product merchandising and brand merchandising?
Product merchandising is when you are displaying your jewelry inside the window. And brand merchandising is when your brand on the booth, your branding, that is brand merchandising. Your posters, there are many things like you want to say your offices or signages, many things which you want to tell your customers. I mean, you are not there, but you want them to read when they pass from there. And that's the time all these things will help you. Or you can say, my offices are here, or there are many things which I have seen. So that is brand merchandising, and this is product merchandising that is inside the window. Yeah. What do you feel
What do you feel
would be the theme for booths at this year's?
I just
Just would it be the same? Be more open like a full glass booth? See, it all depends on the customer, what they want. So there's nothing like I've seen any theme for everybody, because everyone is going to think with their own ideas.
Hmm.
So you can't keep the same theme for all booths.
What is the hardest thing to do in booth designing?
What is the hardest thing to do in booth designing?
Is it thinking of the concept or logistics of making it?
Both. Like suppose if you like thinking, yes, you have to think a lot, and after thinking, the logistics is very very important, because what you have thought, what you have created, and same thing when you want to bring it to reality, it is yes.
What is the biggest
Motive of
motive
this.
of deciding a theme or a concept?
As I told you, I feel that when you design a booth, it is you who has to think what you want from the customers, or how you want to present yourself. So when you decide a theme, then you, as I told you, that as one client told me that you either make me the best or make me the worst. That was his concept. The other person said, give me some different concept, as like we went with go green, or we went with the castle idea, or we went like that, we went with the other themes, or we played on the logo or on their house color. So that way you have to select.
Are your designs more Indian style or foreign?
It depends on client's brief, and I do both.
So, which shows have the most aesthetically looking booths? Is it the IGS or any other show?
I think yes, it's I have seen in Basel, and of in Italy, and Hong Kong also I've seen. Of course, in India we have also improved a lot, and we are also doing good booths.
Okay, the next is, what is the minimum budget for booth designing at an event like IGS?
It all depends on how big is your booth. Whether it's a duplex or it's a 72 square meter, it's a 36 square meter, or a single booth, two booths, it all depends. And one can't give you a ball figure. I can just tell you approximately this is the cost, but it all depends on the kind of a material or the kind of things you are doing in that booth.
Which company do you most enjoy designing for? Is it an Indian company or a foreign company?
Um, Earlier, yes, I can say that when I used to work for outside India companies, I used to find them more professionals and they used to understand me and used to give me a free hand. But I have even enjoyed doing it over here because here I used to feel that it's a challenge for me to tell my clients or to educate my clients or explain my clients why I'm doing this. So I have enjoyed both.
How do you cover a large safe in a booth without making it visible and making it attractive?
Well, I have done this, but I don't have the photographs. And by how to explain you, how do you cover a large safe in a book? See, you can put a glass, a frosted glass, which won't hurt you, or you can have a nice curtain, or maybe you have to just cover it with the wood, with a lighter, whatever your interior of your booth. I think you'll have to. Um, do it with your interior, whatever you have. Yes, you can do it.
Okay. Do you only design jewelry booths or any other types of booths in the industry exhibition, in other industry exhibitions?
Yes, I do work for other industries, but the ratio is like not even 80-20. It is like 90-10. I have, by God's grace, I'm doing a lot of work in this industry only and never got time to go and do the work for the other industry. I'm always busy with our work.
Okay, what is the comparison for booths designed for India and for international exhibitions?
Um, what is comparison for
What's
booths
your feeling in
design?
terms of the booths in India's exhibition versus
Okay,
the booths in
yeah.
international exhibition?
Um, like when you work internationally, they are with advanced technology and lot of differences I found, but that's very natural. They are advanced in technology also, and with their labor, with their material, with the what you can say, the tools, everything. And here it's totally opposite. Like you have to work with the labor as I don't know, like you know or not, but it's very difficult to handle labor here. We have a very like a very loose kind of a materials here. Even if we have, we don't have a what you can say, what you can call atmosphere, or I don't know how to explain, but like when we work in IHS, it is not that easy to work. And when you work internationally, it is very easy. Like, explaining is little difficult for me and it will be too long also. But I can only tell you that the sophistication, I can say the word, that the difference between, in working. And as far as the design is concerned, yes, of course. Design, even we are doing good design. We are also having good ideas. Only difference is in manufacturing. That's what I have felt.
What is the budget on an average in Indian booth and Indian international show in comparison to the spend in places like Hong Kong and Italy and other places?
You know what I have experienced? The difference between the rupee and dollar. That is the difference I have found. But otherwise, it's not much of the difference what I have felt nowadays. Not earlier, but nowadays, even everything has become very expensive here in India. Only difference is the rupee and the dollar. Otherwise, we are quite nearer to that.
Do you prefer having the free hand in boot designing to play around with the concept or theme, and to do international companies give you the same as in the free hand to do your boots?
Both of them are giving me. I both my clients are giving me free hand, and what I do, I explain them if they have some questions or if they have some doubts. Otherwise, I have always had a freedom.
I think those were all the questions that we had for today. In case if you, we still have some more time. In case if you want to highlight any of your points or something, then we can take that as well.
Um, yeah,
Any special tips or takeaways that you would want our viewers to take from today's session?
see, as far as the IHS right now, I'm concerned with because it's the closest exhibition, and what I feel is like I don't know, but there are many things which I feel, but it's regarding the exhibition. It's not with what I'm telling you.
Okay.
Um, I don't know.
That's okay.
It's
That's
not
okay.
coming
If
in my
not, no
mind
issues.
that clearly.
No problem, no problem. With this, we are at the end of our session, and from GemAtlas, we would like to thank everybody for being so patient and being so attentive to this webinar. And I think we have got some more questions.
Yeah, sure.
We'll just take it up.
Yeah.
Um, but how? But
But
now
now
with
with
computers
computers
and
and
YouTube,
YouTube, isn't the gap for international and local minimized? Yes, of course.
and what is the minimum cost per spend if you take the average level material?
Actually, I've never done that calculation because I've never given at this like per square meter rate. I've done a concept and then I have calculated on it and I've given the costing to my client. So I have never required the meter per meter or anything. It would be difficult for me to give.
I think people are now planning out for IHS and maybe they would have
Then they are
budgeted
very
something.
late.
Yeah,
Then it's too late. On 20th, 23rd, we are going to enter.
correct. What is your favorite concept in good designing? Any theme or a concept that you have as your favorite?
I love to do the rustic kind of or the Indian, like the ethnic. All these things are my favorite styles.
How is technology is enable to you to design booths faster, easier, and better?
Technology, as I can tell you, it's easy and it will give you a finished look. If you can do, as we have latest machinery of pasting the micas or cutting by computers, like computerized, or if when you do that, the perfection comes, and it is very natural. When the perfection comes, it's going to look better. Like what our people are doing, they are doing it by hand, and they are doing it with their hand tools and all that. So definitely the technology is going to help you. It will be faster and better. Yes.
Okay.
Do you do jewelry?
Looks like the question is regarding the designing of a jewelry.
No.
Good designs use a lot of material. How does that
Let's
stand
stand
for an
on.
eco-friendly level?
As after the show the materials are thrown away, how can you solve the
The
problem?
problem.
Yes, this is a very good question. Whenever I do the booth, I always think about it, because even I don't like to throw the material. And the material which I have used, I have always used like wood or raw materials. So we use them, maybe like that whole material you can't use it. But suppose if that material used in one booth, and when we remove it, the certain part or the small part of it, we take it. And those kind of things, I use it for my visual merchandising and the small jobs, so that way I utilize them, because for me it's a value. Though I don't like to just throw them, I always try and think about it.
Do you booths for last minute clients?
There are clients who have come there on the venue and given me the assignments that please make a booth, and I'm just making a booth for them at that time. I've always enjoyed that, but you can't do the same thing every time. It's really risky also.
Is any of the material recycled after the show?
Yeah, we don't throw certain things. We always try to use them again. Like wood, you can say that 50% of wood, yes, we try to recycle.
Can you recycle old boots and does it work more expensive?
That way we have one saying, Gat karta gadaman mongi. That is what happens. But sometimes the client wants the same image. And you don't save so much, but you can say from 100, you can say 60% the cost will come next year if you want to keep the same booth. So that way you'll save 40%. And if you are using the same booth for 3 years, so 1 year is going to be free for you. It's like that.
Correct, that's correct. Fine, I think those are all questions that we had for today's session. Thank you everybody for being participative in this session, and hope you have taken some good tips from this for our IHS coming up in the next month. Thank you all. With this, now we end this session for today's webinar. Thank you, Shamaji, for
Thank
conducting
you.
this for us.
Thanks a lot.